Alright, I think we are officially live. Let's see if people can see us. Oh, I can see us. I think we are live now. How very exciting. It's a new thing for us.
So how do we know if we're by ourselves or anybody is with us?
Right now it is just us. So, but then afterwards we'll share this with everybody so that they can see it. Oh, actually, looks like we might have one viewer. Can't tell who it is. Alright, seeing if Sarah can see us, so she can let us know if there's any problems. How exciting. Alright, Sarah's watching, so we now have 2 viewers. Hi. Comment with us this morning to let us know that you're watching, so we know who's joining us this morning. Alright. Sarah, yes.
Do what?
Oh, it messed up somehow. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. It was showing me the live stream and then also sending it back to me. And I was like, well, I don't need that. I'm on the live stream. So you were hearing me a little bit later.
So is it delayed when it's on live stream?
A little bit. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, to get started this morning, we wanted to kind of talk about, we were going to go over some some Zillow crazy listings while we wait for everybody to join. And everybody who's joining, we would love if you share this meeting out to anybody. It'll also be on our Facebook page, so you can watch it afterwards, or you can share that video out with anybody afterwards, for someone who missed it and was interested in our content. So we'll try to make it pretty quick once we get in.
Starting until 10, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little early.
Yep. So right now we're just kind of making sure everybody can join, and I figured we'd go over, kind of look at the Zillow listings or something right now if we wanted to.
These are fun. I have people send these to me every once in a while. They'll be house hunting and they'll come across something that they just have to share. This is so funny. So I went looking for some.
Yeah, where did you just found these on, like, are these actually live ones on Zillow right now, or did you go find them on, like, the Ugly Zillow page?
I found them on the Ugly Zillow page.
All right.
But I have looked enough on Zillow that I've seen some that, you know, the ones that crack me up are when you go see the actual house and then you think, I want the photographer that made those pictures to do my portrait.
That is
because
true.
Anybody who can make this dump look good can make me look good.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember many years ago when I was debating buying a house back when I was single, and there was a house that I went to go look at that had some really fantastic pictures, And then I went and looked, and apparently the photographer had cropped off the top part of the ceiling because every single room was lined with dolls on the ceiling. And it was not in the pictures, but you walked in and you're just like, they're all staring at me and I'm not welcome here. So,
The house I remember looking at when David and I were newlyweds, and the lady loved lavender. So when you went into the house, the walls, the ceiling, the furniture, the knickknacks, the fake plants, everything was lavender. And it was so monochromatic that we walked through the whole house, and then we walked outside, and it had just rained, and it was a real green, lush yard. And you just suddenly saw all that vibrant color, and it just kind of blinded you. It hurt your eyes to go from that. I'd never experienced that before. It was like watching a black and white television show and then something popping in color.
Goodness. That's crazy.
All right, what ugly house do you have?
All right, so let's see how this works.
Now, these are supposed to have been real Zillow listings.
Let's see how I'm gonna share this. Give me just a second. Alright, we'll see how this works. Well, I was hoping I could share them. I may not be able to.
Yeah, I see it.
You do? Okay. I'm not seeing it on...
I see it, uh-huh.
Oh, there we go. It's about to pop up on the live. Forget the live is behind.
So my parents' first house in Fort Worth had that color shag carpeting throughout the house. And the only difference was it also had little gold threads in it. It was so attractive.
Unfortunately, it's sharing it tiny on Facebook Live. But I think they can still see it a little bit. Yeah, so the green shag carpet. Well, and then the inset tub, I think, is what makes it even better. So it's just like grass into a little pond. So, okay, so the leopard...
You know, my
Oh, go ahead.
parents just moved from a house in Candle Ridge that had that.
That's true. That's true. So the leopard one that you sent is the one that cracks me up, though, because there is a certain family member who I won't mention that I could see having this house, having all of this out there. So I could actually...
My mother-in-law.
That one was pretty crazy.
Yes, all the cheetah and leopard prints, and the actual
bobcat
animal.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this one.
Oh my gosh, this one hurt my head with the door
So,
opening into it.
So did it start out this way, or was there a sunken something or a raised something?
I'm betting
or was
it
the
was
builder just that stupid?
maybe some type of terrible garage conversion or something, and they wanted to step on a different side or built it up, or I don't know. Yeah. When Nathan and I were house hunting...
What?
Say that again?
Do what?
I said when Nathan and I were house hunting, that was one of the things that we just like walked away from, was any step up and step downs into the house. Okay, part of that though was because I'm a little bit obsessed, or I was at the time, with using my little Roomba cleaner. And if you have step up, step downs, then it can't clean. And so, it means you have to move them every single time, because then it just gets stuck at the end of it and it goes, it's a ledge, it's a ledge. And it thinks it's falling over a cliff. So, and then our last one, I don't know if they'll be able to see this one as well, is just all kinds of terrible designs. This one was truly I don't even know how you get so much
That
detail
one
in
made
that
me
kitchen.
think of like Disney. There's a house you walk into and everything is odd sized, and some things are big and some things are small. I mean, that looked like a Disney house.
Yeah. Except I think I'd prefer the Disney house. Um, Especially I didn't even see the cow kitchen.
I
That's
don't know as a realtor, the cow. Do you not love the cow?
I love that it keeps going through the whole kitchen. It's not just like there's a cow head. It's like we've extended the cow so that it's now 20 feet long or something.
You start with the butt on the edge of the cabinet.
Yeah.
I don't know as a realtor if you walk in where you even start with the homeowner.
Yeah. I mean, this is more fixable than the
How
others.
do you
It just
tell them
needs a
how
lot of
bad their
paint.
taste is?
Except for this bathroom. I don't know if that bathroom's. I think you just have to burn the bathroom.
Yeah.
So. Alright. Well, it should be back to just the two of us now. I like those. I'll have to figure out how
All
to
right. So what's
share
our
better. Yeah, so to anyone who has joined us now, feel free to reach out with any questions in the comments while we're going. And it's a little bit of a delay, so we'll try to answer your questions if you've got them. And then we're also going to be putting this on our Facebook afterwards. So for anyone who missed it, or if you finished, watching and you're like, oh, that was really great information, we'd love if you share it out with realtors. So our goal is every week to kind of try to start talking about something that realtors care about that we can provide information to them on. We're totally open to topics if you've got certain things that you're like, I wish you guys would talk about XYZ, because I've always wondered about this. Let us know and we'll see if we can put a live chat together. So we might start trying to do some interviews with some different people to get you some more information, but just anything we can do to really help our realtor partners, that's what we want to be doing. So this morning we're starting off talking about Google, your Google listing, Google reviews, and kind of why that's important, I guess. Anything you want to share or add in, Helene?
Well, so Michelle, you and I have been together for 8 years now, going on 8, almost finished 8 years. And what do you think has been important about our Google presence? Because I know prior to you joining me, I really didn't have one at all.
Or a Facebook.
By myself.
Or an Instagram.
The Facebook.
The Facebook. Oh gosh. Yeah, that was step one, was teaching you to take the off of the front of everything.
But do you leave it on the Twitter and the Instagram? I just wonder.
Oh my goodness, no.
So what do you think Google having a presence on there has brought to us? What do you think is important about it?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the biggest things that I think a Google presence does for you is really legitimizes your business. So, especially I feel like in 2020 and 2021, we had so many realtors and so many lenders joining the business that just kind of came out of nowhere. And so Google's a way of kind of showing, hey, look, I'm a real legitimate business. I didn't just start up yesterday. And here are other people who have used me before and like me. So it's a way that you can really show yourself as being legitimate. I know for me, and a lot of people in my generation, when I start to work with a new vendor for whatever it is I'm doing, maybe when we went to go redo our pool, the first thing I'm doing is finding them on Facebook and Google, and seeing what's out there on the internet about them. I want to know that they're a real business. I want to know if they have any reviews, what those reviews say. I specifically would like to see at least a couple reviews so that I make sure that they've done some business with somebody and didn't just change their name because of some bad reviews. So I think that's a lot of what Google gets you. The other thing that it does for you is it also gives you the opportunity of potentially bringing in new leads, because this is a way that people could actually search for you. but you can't really start, either advertising or promoting yourself on Google if you don't have a Google listing. And there's a lot of stuff that you can do with your Google listing that's totally free. And so some of that stuff will sometimes bring in leads for us without us really doing a whole lot of extra work. And so, if there's some place that you might get a couple extra free leads, one or two, maybe a month, maybe a couple a year, and it's free and it doesn't take that much time, why would you not do it?
Yep. You're going to talk about it because this is your expertise, but I will say setting up the Google listing has got to be pretty simple because I'm the one who set ours up in the beginning.
Yep. Yep.
So
we had a lot of stuff that we were setting up, and you got that one going for us.
But I got that one going. So
Yeah.
It's got to be easy. But talk about how easy it is to get it set.
Yeah, so the biggest thing to get started with is you need a Google email address. So for us, we have a Google business email that we use, which we always recommend to our realtors that you should have your own Google or business email anyways, besides your company one, because you want to be sharing that with your realtor or with your customers and your partners, so that if you ever do switch companies, they have that email address, and they can, use that going forward and didn't lose your contact information. So Gmail can be a good way to get that going for free. And it's also another reason that you potentially are going to want to have a different Google listing than what your company has. So for example, Academy Mortgage has a Google listing, and they consistently want us to merge our Google listings with them because they go, we can do a much better job of managing it. And they totally can. They're way better at it than I am. The problem is if we ever leave Academy, which we've left a previous lender before, you have to leave leave all your past Google reviews, listing, etc. with your previous person and then start over. And we didn't really want to do that. At this point, we've got, I think, 45 five-star reviews on our Google, and it's been there for 6 years. That's history I'm not willing to walk away from if we have to go someplace. So first step is getting that Gmail account. And then once you've got that Gmail account, it's really simple. You're going to go on to google.com. You're going to go to their little apps where it's got the, little dots, so it tells you all the apps. And you're going to, it's called the Business Profile Manager. And when you go to the Business Profile Manager, it'll say, do you want to create a new business? And you'll click yes or create a new business. And then it walks you through this whole little tutorial, and you just start answering all the questions that, it's asking you to fill out your business. And then once it's completed, the one annoying thing, if you are going to put a location, which I highly recommend, is it is going to email you or mail you a postcard. And then you have to actually put in a little code before your Google will actually go live. So that part can be a little bit of extra time. And then once that's done, then you're going to have a lot more options to work on expanding and filling out your Google listing. So super simple. And like Colleen said, she did ours actually at the beginning, and then I picked it up after that point. So if Colleen can do it.
I did up until the postcard. I think you took it over at the postcard.
Yeah.
But I got it all set up. Well, and I'm going to speak just a minute about the email address, because Michelle and I, we both deal with so many realtors that their email is their employer or their broker's extension. And that is critical to have your own personal presence. We, as loan officers, we've got compliance issues that we have to use our employer's email, but we've both always kept a personal business one that is, you try to make sure all of your customers have, because, I have customers that I did loans for 10 and 12 years ago that now they're ready to move, and they can reach me by that email address, and it doesn't matter that I've changed lenders a couple of times.
Yep.
And brokers, you may think, oh, I'm at the one broker I'm going to stay at my whole career, but they may sell 3 times while you're there, and your email extension is going to change, and you'll lose a lot of that. So it's really critical that you have your own personal branded email address, and then use that on your Google.
Or like you said, you may really love the brokerage you're at, and then they sell and you don't like who they become. And so now suddenly, what are you going to do? You've got to go someplace. I know when we moved from the first company, we weren't quite as prepared, and there was, I think, some business that was definitely lost because I know you didn't have as much set up separately. And so then at that next company, we're like, okay, let's make sure if anything happens again in the future. And we loved the company we were at. We were there for many years until we finally had to move for a reason. And when you have to move, you have to move. So you got to take your business with you and figure out a way to make it work. Which is another reason why the Google reviews and the Google listing can be so important, because that is, that stayed with us as well. And so even though we were new at this new business or at this new company, we weren't new on the internet. We already had a Facebook and a Google presence that had been around for a while and showed our legitimacy and our experience and age.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all in a relationship business, and the fact that you work for a particular lender or you work for a particular broker doesn't really matter. It's the person. This is a very hands-on personal business. So your customers are coming back for you.
Yep.
They're not coming back for your broker.
Yeah.
So you really want to keep that branding to yourself. So once somebody's got that set up, they got their postcard, they got everything in play, what are the next steps? What are the most important things to do next with your Google listing?
Yeah, so once it's finally up live, and I will say Google is really terrible about notifying you about different stuff. So the biggest way that you can figure out if you're live is just keep Googling yourself. And then one day when you pop up, you'll realize, oh, you're live. So for example, I actually helped a realtor set theirs up a couple days ago. And then I went back and Googled him later and I was like, oh, looks like your Google's live. And he goes, it is? Because he didn't get any notifications or anything about it. So he didn't even realize. So once it's live, then you're going to be able to start filling out a lot more information. So, keep putting in more and more information on that Google listing, as much as you can fill out. It's going to have a section on there about places that you serve. And so you want to make sure that you're adding all the cities, and especially in DFW, we've got all these little tiny places. So you can add Fort Worth, Hazlitt, Weatherford, Arlington, add all of those as places that you serve. And that's part of what's going to help you show when people are Googling for realtors in your area. And then the next thing that you want to start doing that's highly important is getting those reviews. So, for most realtors that are starting this at this point that we're probably talking to, you've already had a Google, or you've already had a business for a while, and you've maybe already closed 100 deals in the past, however many years. This is a great opportunity to be giving all of those people a call and getting reviews from them. So on your Google listing, you can actually get a link that you can send directly to your clients, that basically they, open that link and it just immediately opens the form for them to fill out your review. So they don't have to go find you, then go find the, write review, then write the review. You can make it super simple for them. And we all always talk about that we should be calling our past customers anyways. So this is a great thing for you to be doing this year. Go call all of your past customers. Say, hey, I loved working with you. I'm just getting started on Google. Would you mind writing me a review? I can send you the link, and you can text it to them so they can pop it up on their phone. And then don't forget to ask for a future lead while you're on the phone with them. And, hey, do you have any other friends, family members, or coworkers that are looking to buy, sell, or refinance in the next 12 months? I can be helping as well. Or just, start establishing that relationship with them again. Maybe they're looking to sell. So that already would kind of help you from the sales side of getting some business generating. Then that also helps you get your reviews going. A lot of these customers, they'd love to go write you a review, especially you guys, because you have a lot more face time with these customers than a lot of times we do. You guys have been out house hunting together, went to lunch together afterwards, you were at the closing table with them. So you've got this personal relationship, and it's not typically a burden for customers to write these reviews for you. Most of the time they're super excited to do it. And then moving forward, every time you close a deal, make sure you're emailing them or texting them afterwards with your Google review link and saying, hey, I loved working with you. I'd love if you would review me, kind of put something together like that, So we send that after every single closing, and we got a lot of great responses. Another really useful way to get reviews, if your company is already collecting reviews on some other site, so ours is, I don't remember what it's called now, it's like customer experience or experience.com or something like that. And it automatically goes out and it asks our customers to rank us and our company and adds these reviews to our websites. And so we get notifications every single time a customer fills one of those out. And what I'll do is actually take that review and copy and paste it into the email and go, thank you so much for writing me this amazing review. I'd love if you share this on my Google as well. Here's the link. And I actually pasted your review here so you can just copy and paste if you'd like. And then they don't have to go write it again. They just take that and go put it onto the Google review for you as well. So you've got it in that additional place. So like we had somebody recently, she just wrote us like a page for a review.
It was awesome.
It was the longest review I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, and I mean, just glowing, beautiful review. And I was like, that needs to be on our Google. And so when we sent our email afterwards, which that's something our assistant does for us, she copied and pasted that in and then just sent it back and, thank you so much for this beautiful review. Will you please put this on our Google as well? And if somebody's writing a review that long, they're going to be more than happy to go put it on your Google for you. And so that was really fantastic.
Something else that the realtor can do that you have that we don't necessarily have is pictures are critical within Google.
Yep.
And if you are taking pictures at closing, so if you post pictures on your Google, it gets some traction. But if somebody posts a picture on your Google when they're leaving you a review,
even better.
It really pushes your metrics up high.
Yeah.
So what you can do is take a picture with them at closing, and when you send the request to leave you a Google review, include the picture and ask them to attach it.
Yeah.
Because if they attach the picture, it's bigger. And make sure you have your GPS turned on your camera when you take the picture, because that will go into the metadata of the photo and help link it to a location. And the fact I knew what I was saying,
about to say, I was so impressed by the terminology that you just threw out. It just warms my heart how far you've come.
I go back to, if I can do this, anybody can do this.
Oh, there's so much truth.
But it is, I do know that it's really important, and it will boost your rating on Google if you've got those things. It all ties together.
Well, and the thing that's really important about the Google reviews is if you're consistently getting that with your closings, it means you're consistently putting new content on Google. And Google wants new content all the time. And so that's one way that you're doing that. You're getting those reviews, and then just like Helene talked about, you're making sure, if you can get them to attach pictures, that would be even better. And then you also want to make sure you're responding to all of those reviews. So, thank you so much. Really enjoyed working with you. The other thing we've learned recently is in your responses, you really want to put kind of keywords like, I was so grateful, or I was so glad I could help you become a first-time home buyer. I loved helping you get down payment assistance. Different keywords like that somebody might be Googling. Make sure you put those in your responses back to people. So that also helps as well.
Right, like I loved helping you find a home in Fort Worth or in Wedgwood in Fort Worth. Yeah, always do your reviews with that. Your responses with keywords.
Yeah, every time you're talking, try to put keywords in there. So that's one way you can definitely help boost your Google presence. The second one is just uploading pictures in general. So it doesn't have to be attached to a review. You can also just upload pictures to your Google. Obviously, you want to have pictures of you, pictures of your building if you're in a place. But then realtors, you guys have so many great pictures to upload from listings. So, different houses that you've looked at, people love that kind of stuff, and Google loves pictures. So the more pictures that you're able to upload, the more that's going to help you as well. And then the last thing that you want to be doing is Google actually has a place for you to do, they call it updates, but updates can be an event, it can be a blog post. I think there's a third thing it can be, and I don't remember what it is. So, for example, every open house that you do should be an event that you've created on Google as well. And it's just like a little blurb. You can go see our past event. This particular live share was an event on our Google as well. And we just had it lead us back to, or lead people back to our Facebook event. So it's not like it has to be this whole other thing you're keeping track of. So make sure that you're always creating events for that, uploading pictures for it, putting in keywords in your event, that kind of thing. So that's really the basics to kind of get you going. That'll really help a lot if you keep up with some of that. Makes you look legitimate, keeps, a whole slew of content for people to look at for you, or about you, and then also has a whole list of stuff where they can come, Google and potentially find you as well. And then if you do have a company that's helping you with your Google and media presence, etc., now they've got something to work with. Now they might start putting together GPS, encoded photos with different keywords embedded in the photos. That's another thing that they can do. They'll put all that together for you. They can start doing Google ads off of your Google listing. But all of that starts with you having a Google listing and then having Google reviews that you're starting to work on.
Well, and you can, even as you're showing houses, so you're taking somebody out, they're looking at houses, and you're in somebody's house and you see some really neat decorating thing they do, you want to be careful you don't have any personal anything. But this is somebody whose house is for sale and it's on MLS, so it's, it's on the internet anyway. But just take a picture and throw it up on your Google, and it's going to have a geocode in there. It's going to link to the area where you are, where you're looking.
Yep.
And it's going to boost your metrics because you've added a picture. And it really doesn't matter as much what the picture is of, because people don't tend to go look at your pictures. It's the info that's embedded in the picture.
Yep.
That's what you got to think about, not the picture itself. So, Michelle, we've unloaded a lot of information. This can be overwhelming. What can somebody do that doesn't feel up to tackling it?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that is great about being one of our realtor partners, is we help our realtor partners in any way that we can, and that includes helping them set up their Google. So we actually helped one of our realtor partners last week get their Google listing set up and start working through everything. And hopefully I'm going to help another one next week. And so we really do try to give back to the realtors that work with us. And this is one way that we found that we can do that, is helping you set up your Google presence. Because, if you're a partner with us, then we figure the more business that you have coming in, the more business we have coming in. So we want to be helping you grow your business. And when I say help set it up, I mean, we set up a little, basically Zoom, and I screen shared with the realtor and helped him get walked him through all the steps. Okay, go here, click here, type this in, do this, set this part up. Now this is going to be what's next, and we can do another meeting once your postcard comes in. So we really want to be there to help our realtors get going and hopefully bring more business in the future. So reach out to us. And we'd love to set up a time to help you out.
Well, and I know after I set up our Google listing, I started getting a bunch of phone calls of people who wanted to help me, i.e. get money from me. So what do you think about those?
Yeah, so one of the scams...
Is it necessary?
No, one of the scams that's going around right now is to register your Google listing. And I probably get, one or two a week, I would say, for registering my Google listing, and hurry before it's too late, or it's about to be out of date and, you're no longer going to be listed. That is a scam. So if you get those, you can ignore those. Now, there are legitimate companies out there that can help you with branding your Google a little bit better, setting up some SEO marketing for you. That goes honestly beyond what I can help you with. But this is the first step to getting there, is why waste time paying them, typically a hefty amount for something that you can do yourself and get going. So we can kind of get those basics done for you. And then after that, if you want to go hire maybe a marketing company, now they're able to jump in and quickly start doing some stuff for you. And you get to start seeing if they're really worth the money right away. Because, what we always talk about is if they can't bring in enough business to cover themselves within 3 months, then they're probably not worth it. If they bring in more than that, awesome. But at the very least, they should be covering themselves within 3 months.
Well, I mean, even you and I tried that because, we were keeping metrics before and after, and we were paying somebody to manage our Google, and frankly, they weren't doing any more for us than we were doing for ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we learned.
But if you don't have anything, you don't know.
Yeah, we learned a couple new tips and tricks from it, but that was really about it. And that is something with your Google profile, which we can help as well. You can actually go see your insights. So you can see anytime somebody's called you, anytime somebody's Googled you, how many times they've visited, one of the links. So you can see all of that traction. And so you definitely want to be looking at that. And you can see historically. So I actually talked with our Google marketing person about that. And I was like, look, here's what the last year looked like before you started helping us, and here's what the past 6 months while you've been helping us looked like. I'm not really seeing any uptick. I think there was like 1 month of uptick that he was kind of holding on to, and then after that, it was pretty much the same. So I was able to very clearly see that we weren't getting our money's worth out of that, and move on. Yeah.
Well, if we had any questions, we've kind of been chatting.
Nothing at this point. So like we said, we're going to put this on our Facebook, so you can watch this afterwards and come back to this and then share with other realtors as well. And our goal is to start doing this podcast every single week. So next week, we are going to be doing another podcast on T-Shack down payment assistance and some basics. And the reason we're actually doing this one next week is to prepare everyone to kind of, pique your interest about a T-Shack class that we have coming up. So that one is going to be, I think it's the 27th, I want to say. Yes, we're going to be doing it on July 27th. It's going to be an online T-Shack class. It's free, and it gets you 1 hour of CE credit. So if you haven't taken your T-Shack CE credit this year, this is a great way to do it because you don't even have to leave your house. You do have to be on video, so be prepared that if you need to put makeup on or something before you want yourself to be on video, do that ahead of time or else you can't get the credit. But that's a really, really great video. So we'll talk about some basics next week about T-Shack so you can see if it's something you're even interested in. Anything you've got to add, Helene?
All right. Nope. That's all I got.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing everybody next week, and hope you join us live. Bye, everyone.
Yep. We're putting up with our first podcast.
Yes.